Watch out, Hisense. You're not the only one that's going to be making an RGB Mini LED TV. I wonder who that could be. What's going on, YouTube team, and welcome back to the channel. Today, I got some news, and I'm kind of curious. I wonder why this is not starting to blow up a lot more than I thought it was going to be. But I do want to give a shout out to High Def News for finding this out first. I went ahead and took a look at the article, and it finds out that Sony might be doing the RGB Mini LED TV and maybe coming out this year. So let's go ahead and dive into the article. And I'm just going to leave it at this first. It is a rumor, it's nothing confirmed, but it seems to be coming true that the Sony Bravia 10 may be a RGB Mini LED TV. So exciting news. Let's go ahead and dive into the article and to read it and see how everything lines up. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with the article. So I do want to give another shout out to High Def News. He's the one that discovered this article about the 2025 TV rumors on here. So this is going by Baidu or Baidu. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that name correctly, but Baijai High. So please don't butcher me in the comments when it comes to pronouncing a news outlet incorrectly. But to go into this, they talk about the 2025 TVs from Sony, and they talked about more specifically what they are going to be releasing. So a lot of it is going to be the same names that they have from last year, but the only difference is now is that they're going to have a suffix of M2, which is very interesting because we already kind of saw that from some of the leaks that I have posted on previous videos, but it did go into a little bit more detail, and I want to go ahead and talk about that as well. So let's go ahead and talk about the article more and talk about the Bravia 10 RGB Mini LED TV. But before we go into dive into that portion of it, let's talk about what Sony is going to be doing for 2025 and what's going to be the naming convention. According to this article, it did mention that a lot of the names that for 2024 is going to be recycled to 2025. The only difference is now they're going to add a suffix, a M2 behind it that indicates it's going to be a 2025 TV, which pretty much lines up with how they do their audio products. And so that's one thing they want to keep the naming convention very consistent to what the Sony products that they already have listed. Now, if you do remember that the first rumor that we had here is, I'm about to go ahead and show it on the screen, is that there was indication that Sony may be coming with a with an MLA OLED technology that they used from LG from last year. Now, according to this article, they mentioned that it is fake and may not happen, and they may just use the existing technology that what LG is going to be doing for the 2025 TVs, or the 2024 the EX panel is going to be used for the Bravia 8. Now, for the other ones, we're not 100% sure as in if they're going to be doing a QD OLED or if they're going to be doing a higher tier OLED. So those are kind of like the things that's still up in the air, but more than likely for the Bravia 8, it seems to be true that they are going to be using just a newer version of LG panel, but we just don't know specifically what that panel may be for the Bravia 8. But looking at the Bravia 9, it may be more of just a iteration from last year. We don't know what the improvements may be for the Bravia 9. It may be an updated version of the Mini LED TVs, but there's no concrete news. Now, jumping into the RGB, the Bravia 10 portion of it, which I know this is where you're looking at this video, there's been some clear indication that Sony is very interested in doing an RGB Mini LED TV. The reason why it hasn't been announced, or it may take longer for Sony to release this TV, because the reason why Sony may take longer to release this RGB Mini LED TV is because they are so dependent on MediaTek, specifically because MediaTek is working on a light control RGB Mini LED chip And so until that is complete, that's why Sony is taking a little bit longer to come out with their version of the RGB Mini LED TV. And the MediaTek chip is not going to be available towards mid this year or maybe late of this year. So those are kind of like the things that are very dependent when it comes to Sony, if they're going to release the Bravia 10, their flagship model, with the RGB Mini LED TV, or maybe wait towards the end of the year, or it might come out in the beginning of 2026, which is all just speculation and rumor based off the article. But it is kind of interesting that Sony is very interested in doing the RGB Mini LED TV, and they just don't want to sit on their hands and just be waiting on the sidelines and see that Hisense is going to take all the glory when it comes to the RGB Mini LED TV. But let me know in the comments what your thoughts are about this article. I'm going to go ahead and post the article in the channel in the description, so go ahead and take a look at it. Do want to give another shout out to High Def News for posting this. I just find this whole thing very interesting that Sony may be coming out with the Mini LED RGB TV for their flagship model. It seems that based off the rumors that I showed earlier this year and on the Excel file that it shows on there, that Sony more than likely might not be doing a QD OLED. So it seems that they want to primarily have their focus on the RGB Mini LED technology or the Mini LED side, and they're still doing OLEDs, but they see that there's more benefit on that spectrum of the realm than going to the OLED line. But let me know in the comments what your thoughts are. If you could do me a favor by hitting that like and the subscribe button, I greatly appreciate it. Until next time, I see everyone on the next video, and take care.